Hey, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're at in the US or around the world. Welcome to Baseball Outside the Box, the show that loves to interview baseball's best coaching minds who love to challenge the status quo. We don't just interview coaches, we interview instructors, teachers, professionals in the game. We also like to discuss certain apps that are out there that can help coaches, volunteers, coaches in the US, coaches around the world promote their players, promote the, use a product possibly that we think is very good to be able to use to enhance their development of their players. There's so much that we do on the show. So check us out. We're all over social media. We don't want to waste any time today because we got a great show. I want to tell you about a friend of mine who has an outstanding app. We've met several times at the American Baseball Coaches Association. And boy, they're getting their name out so much. They've been around a long time. It's the Baseball Bluebook, and I'm honored because I love the app that to be an ambassador who's going to be promoting this app all over the world. So I want the federations, the coaches in the clubs, all everybody involved in baseball to really pay attention because this app can really help you promote your players, but it can do a lot more. And our good friend Eric Wubbena Wubbena, I'm sorry, and Eric, I was practicing. Wubbena Italian, Wubbena German, right? So I want to welcome you to Baseball Outside the Box, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. I appreciate it, Pete. Great to be on the program, and always good to talk to you. So thank you for having me on.
Well, I want to tell you I've been going through the app and I really like it. That's what I'm here for. Normally, folks, we're live on Facebook. I don't really endorse products and all that unless I really like them, or even promote them on the show. I get emails all the time from companies that want to, promote their product. Well, there's got to be an exchange. If I'm going to promote a product, I got to know about it. I got to like it a lot, and I got to really think it's going to help coaches and people in the U.S. and around the world. And I asked Eric kind of to explain this because I want everybody to understand it really well. And he mentioned to me it's a little bit like mentioned it's a little bit like LinkedIn for baseball. But Eric, let's get started. How did this all start, and what's the app a little bit about?
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. Again, my name is Eric Wubbena. I'm the owner and president of the Baseball Bluebook, and it goes back a ways from the beginning. So I won't spend a lot of time, but it does add to the legacy of the Baseball Bluebook. The Baseball Bluebook has actually been published since 1909. And so it has been around a long time, predates pretty much everything out there. I think it started when the National League started. So we've been through everything in baseball. My family bought the business over 40 years ago. It was just a book printing, updating, and a publishing business. And so what it was and what it is an official directory for scouting departments at the major league level. So if they were, this is pre-internet, pre-Google, Chat GPT, the scouts needed to have the contact information, the locations of all the college coaches, all the professional teams, all across the country. And what the Baseball Bluebook was that official directory. So we would print 50, 60, up to 100 of these books out for every scouting department in the Major League Baseball and ship them out every year. We updated it for the new coaches. We all know that college coaches, it's a carousel and people change every year. And so we were always up to date on all of the contacts, the schedules, everything. And a few years ago, I basically called my dad and said, "What are you going to do with the business? I'd like to take it and modify it to the vision that I have." My background is baseball. I love baseball. I played a long time ago, didn't make it, and went into the technology business. And ever since, I've been in the technology industry with companies large and small, from IBM to small technology companies. Helped build apps, and I wanted to do something that was missing in the baseball world. There's a lot of recruiting apps. There's a lot of training apps. There's a lot of maybe showcase apps. There's a lot of apps. So if you could talk to just a typical person, there's probably 5, 6, 7 apps that they have with different profiles. You may be have a Rapsodo score, and you have an app for that, which with your own profile. You may have a perfect game app or or profile, but it's proprietary for just Perfect Game. And I looked at it and said, you know what? Let's focus on bringing the data back to the individual, and very similar to like what you mentioned, the LinkedIn, right? What LinkedIn did, it solved the problem. People worked all over the place and they were looking for jobs. What's the difference between that and players and coaches in the baseball world? They've got a lot of data. They've got a resume. They've got stats and metrics. They've got all of this information that they have throughout their career, even if they're a young person, with highlights and different things. But we wanted a non-proprietary, an agnostic platform that worked with everybody else, and that's what we built. We built a platform that allows players. It's really three areas. We focused on the directory, so we still have the directory of all the colleges, all the information on all the programs across the country. Different than a book, so you can filter it, right? If you grab a book.
Excuse me, Eric, by the way, I could have used that in 1990 because I was using the Bluebook when I was in the independent professional baseball. And I can attest, folks, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I wanted to attest that Bluebook information is priceless, with the details in there and the people you can reach. So thank you for mentioning that.
Well, that was our legacy, and we didn't want to lose the legacy, right? Books are outdated, but the name and what we were providing is not. And so we wanted to stay true to what we were doing. And it really, I've heard from coaches all across the country and the world, they always called it the Bible of baseball, right? They got their Bible, and it had all the information that they needed, and we wanted to continue that going forward. So the primary focus on the app is really the directories, and unlike what we had when we printed it, we expanded it. It didn't have players. It didn't have specific coaches. It didn't have training facilities. It didn't have vendors. It really just had the college programs, the schedule. So we expanded it. When you download the app, and again, it's free. So you can go to the Baseball Bluebook on either the Google Play, or you can go to Apple Store, download Baseball Bluebook for free. When you build a profile, either a player profile or a non-player profile, you have access to all of our directories. So we've got over 100 podcasts, all baseball related podcasts. So Baseball out of the Box is right there. You can actually listen to the podcast and the episodes live in our app. So we've got a podcast player. If you want to go find a glove or bats, wooden bats are awesome. Everybody's got custom bats. We've got all the custom bat manufacturers, all listed in our marketplace directory. And then we've got training facilities, hundreds of training facilities all across the country. So not only just players, colleges, but we've expanded it to really everything to do with baseball. And when you go to the directories, it's all searchable, filterable, based on what you're looking for. And that's really what we wanted to stay focused on, is providing a single source for everybody to find what they're looking for. And so again, speaking to people that are out there that may have a training facility, you may have a product to sell, you might be a trainer or a coach at a little league. If you want to be in the book and be in the directory, it's as simple as downloading the app, selecting what you are, and you can have a directory input profile in the Baseball Bluebook at no cost. And so for the old school guys, it's kind of like the yellow pages or the white pages. Get yourself in. It doesn't cost you anything. And for the new school people, it's just having a Google search, right, to be listed in something that the baseball players and the baseball minds are going to. And that's what it is. It's a micro app based on a lot of social media platforms. So it feels like Facebook. It's got a feed to it, so you can post highlights. So I could go on forever. I'll stop for you to kind of maybe ask some questions.
One thing, I think it seems like a one-stop shop. You got everything in there. You can carry it on your phone, and I know there's a lot of people using it. And you mentioned, it's for everybody, but I guess the international federations, and we all know, I just want to kind of let our audience know, you got in every country, first of all, you have the World Baseball Softball Confederation, which is the governing body of sport for baseball and softball, which is at top. Then you have the national federations in every country, whether it be USA Baseball or Australia Baseball Federation. They govern baseball in their country, and then you have the clubs that run the teams, and they obviously control the players and work with the players and tournaments and all that kind of stuff. So for the international people, what's their benefit? I get the part about,
Yeah.
you get the college coaches' names, you get all that information you went over, but what's the real benefit for them to help their players also?
Yeah, no, great question. First and foremost, we're in 146 countries, so that's the number one. A lot of times when these small apps, baseball apps, they're very specific to the U.S. market, maybe Canadian and Mexico, the Caribbeans. We have 146 countries that we support, so I don't care where you're at. The benefit of organizations, affiliations, federations, even down to the little league, is the promotion of the players. We really focus this around the player, and helping the player be found, right? One of our original taglines was finding your next playing opportunity. And really that starts at the very youngest age. I don't care if you're, I have a son that's playing T-ball, 6 years old, that he's got a profile in the app, because guess what? I want to have the highlights of him hitting off a tee, first coach pitch, just figuring out, just running around and highlights, right? Is he looking for his next playing opportunity? Absolutely. It's going to be the youth. It's going to be the next level. It keeps moving forward. And so we wanted to base this around the player. So as you grow up as a player, you have different metrics, you have different benchmarks that you're hitting, and we provide the ability to put all those in your profile. I don't, if it's a video highlight, it might be a YouTube link to some highlights that you have. It could be game changer highlights that you can upload directly to our app. It could be Rapsodo scores, or even if you have perfect game or NCSA recruiting profiles, we allow you to link those directly in our app. And so the real benefit for anyone anywhere in the world is the ability to take your profile, build it to the way you want it, and then you can share it. It's just a link. So you can text it, you can email it, you can put it on social media, and all of a sudden anyone that clicks on the link, your personal link, it will open up your profile in the Baseball Bluebook web app. So you don't even have to have the app in order for you to have to share it, and for people to view your profiles. So that's the real benefit, is as you grow, different things mean different things, and different things have different values. And so as you get older, we've got a lot of people there's over 6,000 players in the portal right now. We've got a lot of those players that have built profiles in our app, because again, they want to go out there and they want to have a place that they can put everything that they've done and then share it to those prospective coaches and different people at whatever level that they're at.
Does okay, now if let's take a federate. Okay, we got the governing body in Belgium. Let's use Belgium an example, or the Netherlands. They've got clubs, they got their coaches, they've got players that are almost done with high school, looking at college. This allows them to put the profile, and then the Bluebook has information on college coaches. Are they able to send that to the college
Absolutely,
coach?
absolutely. Let me just expand that a little bit, and specifically a use case for these basically these club teams or federation teams in different countries. And again, this applies to travel organizations. It applies to showcases, whatever it might be. You as the owner of whatever that might be, it could be, again, as a federation organization, or it could just be as a team. You can create a team, a team group in our app. So you build a profile yourself. You can go to the menu, select groups, and hit create, and you can create a free group. Which is what this does is basically provides you a group me or a team snap functionality inside the app. The difference and the real benefit is, not only do you have the communication of this group for your specific team, but you also have links directly to each of the players' profiles, which nobody else has, right? You might be running things with text messages or WhatsApp. Well, that's great. But then if you want to go in and see that player, or look into what he's got, well, where do you go, right? So in ours, he's in your group. It's a private group. You can click on his profile, and now you can see everything about him. He could post a highlight, and you want to check it out. You go to his profile, and boom, everything's right there. So from that perspective is great. And then what you just talked about with all the coaches, we've got all the coaches. We just updated it with all the changes that we've already seen in college baseball right now. So all the coaches are updated. even if the coach doesn't have a profile in the book, we've got his contact information. So that's the benefit of the legacy of the Baseball Blue Book. We already have all the contacts. But the coach may or may not have his own private profile, but that's okay because we've got his information. You can email it. You go to the app, find the coach, find his email, and then you can email him your profile link.
How about young players? There's a lot of players around the world who want to go to high school in the U.S. and not only go to school but play baseball. Is that possibility a way to promote yourself?
Absolutely. We've got in our organization directory, we've got a ton of academies. We've got post-grad programs. We've got everything. And so if I were a parent of some players that may be looking for that, as a parent, you can go and build a profile as a parent, but manage it your player's profile. And so what that does is provide a level of security. So we all know that under 13, you're not supposed to have apps. We understand that. We apply all of those regulations. But so we let the parent then manage their player's profile, and you can also make the profile private if you don't want anybody to see it up to a certain point. So we've built in a lot of those privacy components into it to make sure that this is a secure platform for people to, put whatever they want. And one of the examples that when they're young, I don't really care if anybody sees my highlights of my kid. I'll make it private, but then I'll share it to his grandparents and to other people. And now they're the only ones that can see it. So you can kind of think of LinkedIn, think of Facebook, but ultimately the back end of everything is the profiles that we have that you can build out and add everything that you've ever thought of from a baseball perspective.
Yeah, and Eric, I really think there's a lot of coaches, and again around the world, who some already have accomplished by hooking up with a major league team or a college and being able to coach. This is a great way for them to promote themselves. If they're looking to become a professional baseball coach or a college coach, an assistant, I mean, it's a great way for them to promote themselves.
100%. One of the things that I mentioned that we've built a lot of the components of social media into the app as well. And we all, we use X and we use Facebook and all of those things. X is becoming a really popular recruiting app for players. There's a lot of upside, right? Everybody's on it. It's fast. It's easy to use. The problem is it's not filterable. You can't sort. You can't put groups. There's a lot of things you can't do. What we've done is we've created a feed, and it's a public feed for everyone. So when you download the app and post something, it's going to go into the public feed. And you just brought up a great example. We've got a lot of people. We got vendors, coaches that'll go in there, and they could promote a camp that they've got. They could promote a product that they have. They could promote themselves and say, "Hey, I'm looking for a new position. I'm looking to do something in the West Coast versus the East Coast." And so you can utilize the platform as you would with any social media platform, with all the benefits of having these fully endowed profiles with full-on directories for everything with baseball and how it applies. So we've kind of taken the best of a lot of social media platforms, from Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook, the group capabilities of GroupMe or TeamSnap, and we've kind of integrated all of those things into this. And so it's really that one app. And I want to say, you mentioned softball. We've encouraged softball. Our next launch is going to add softball to the whole thing. It's still, our corporate name is still Baseball Blue Book because of the legacy, but we are opening it up to softball and baseball, diamond sports. And so everything that we have for baseball is also going to be available in the next month for all the softball players out there.
Hey, Eric, you got a lot of fans out there. You got a lot of people on Facebook checking you out, but we got somebody who's really hot, and he's a big fan of yours. Our buddy Jeff Del Fuego. He says Eric Wubbena is the bomb. He knows what he's talking about. You gotta love it, right? Jeff's an outstanding coach, boy, an ex-military guy. I had him on the show a week ago. He's unbelievable. But again, big endorsement there, for you. But
well, hey, I appreciate that, Jeff. Thank you.
And the $1 million question. I know there's more that we need to cover, but we can get into the $1 million question. What's the cost of this? How do they set up? How does this all work where they get started? Because I know it can get complicated at times,
Yeah.
if you're not sure what
Yeah,
to do.
that's a great question. It's free for a profile. So, unlike a lot of these recruiting apps and different things out there, there is no cost. So you can, if all you want to do is build a profile, check it out, not going to cost you anything. What we are doing is we're adding some premium features into the already the features that we already have. So we will be adding a premium profile later down the road, giving you the option. We're going to add an AI chatbot into the app later this year, which is really cool. What it's going to do is it'll allow the players to build out their profile with all their stats, their metrics, their academic information, and then our chat, our AI chat will pull all that information and give you some great reports as far as best college fits, different things like that. If you're looking into colleges and you want just a quick snapshot of what the college is like, we're going to have direct access to all of that. So that's going to be a premium. The group is we're going to also add a Patreon paywall for our groups. So all you recruiters out there, recruiters or trainers that are looking for a platform to build your business on, this is a great alternative. There's a lot of them out there, but the benefit we have is the profile, right? You can build a business on a standalone platform, put your training material or your recruiting information behind a paywall on another app, but this allows the player to build a profile, join your group, and we're going to put a paywall in there and give you a kind of an all-inclusive business package for you businesses out there. So that's something else that we're going to be adding. But right now, it's not going to cost you anything. We encourage everyone to download the app. If you're a parent, build your own parent app to follow your players. That's the real cool thing about this is we encourage a travel organization or a team to build a group and invite the players and the parents to join. And now you can have a place you're communicating with both parents and players inside a private group for schedules, for practices, for whatever. It may be just sharing a highlight that maybe one of the parents got and they would like to add it to the team group. And so now everybody can see it. So forget the text messages and the three-way chats and all of that stuff. I mean, it's a pain in the neck. This is a vault for everything that you've got. One of the things we encourage parents, how many videos do you have out there on your cell phone? Get them up under the baseball blue book, put them in a place that you can organize them and you can have them so that you can keep them with the kid and as they continue their journey in baseball.
Eric, I should have probably started with this, but it doesn't matter because we'll cover it all. Let me give you an example. Let's use an example of I'm a national federation. So example, USA Baseball would be where we can start. But let me start with the Italian Baseball Federation. I'll use that because I'm Italian.
Okay.
So the Italian Baseball Federation has all these clubs throughout Italy.
Yep.
Every club has different ages. Obviously they try to have all ages, and they're usually spread out in 3 years different. So example, it could be 12 and under, 15 under, 18 under, 23 and under, and then older. They could have one or two teams. They could have no teams in that club, whatever it is. Now, I'm a national federation. I've got all this under my umbrella.
Yep.
What's your recommendation for them with the app? What would you do if you were them? How would you use this app to your benefit?
Well, it's really simple. If I was the Italian Baseball Federation, one, I would create an organization called the Italian Baseball Federation. And that's an easy. You go to the organization menu directory and you can create your own. It will then be sent to me for approval. We will then make sure that the federation is an organization. At that point, all of those levels, and we've done this multiple times with other organizations, you create groups that are part of that. So it could be the Italian Baseball Federation 12U and under. That would be a group. And now that group would have all those players assigned to that group. And then that group would be affiliated with the Italian Baseball Federation. Now, here's the real benefit of this. I could have, let's say I have 50 groups at all different teams and different levels, all affiliated with the Italian Baseball Federation. At the end of the day, what the goal should be is to promote those players. And your number one way of promoting those players is your website. And so you're going to want to send people to the Italian Baseball Federation. And right now, the only option that most people have is to build an integrated profile builder or membership area under a website. Well, that takes a lot of maintenance and cost and time. And then you have to get the information from the players. And then you send people to the website, you look at the players, and you don't know if it's updated. You don't, it's a nightmare. What we do is we have a website integration that we provide to the organization. So Italian Baseball Federation, we would give you the integration directly to all the affiliated groups in our app. You embed that on your website, and when anybody goes to your website and looks at players, it will list all of the players that are associated with your federation and a link to their profile in the Baseball Bluebook.
Interesting.
So it provides a website integration to the profile. Now the kids are responsible for updating their profile, and they'll be encouraged to, because if they know it's being promoted by you as the federation on their website, I would hate to have a coach go to that website, click on my profile, and there's nothing in there, right? Now the player has the access by just simply downloading the app and then updating whatever they like in their profile. It now will show up for anybody to then click on that profile and then be displayed on a website.
And same thing. So it's the same thing that the club can do, because the club might have 5 to 10 teams.
Yep.
And they can do the same thing. And then you've got the actual team that can do that if they like. And
Absolutely.
Then you have the individual. I mean, they can all do this at one.
Absolutely. I just talked about the federation level, but let's say there may be a club that has 10 teams, but they're affiliated with that federation. Well, that club may have their own website. We can provide the same website integration and only list the players that are part of that particular club. So we can be very granular to what you have. We even have teams, individual teams that have their own website. And so we can provide the website integration all the way down to an individual team, as long as that team has the players and they have a private group in the Baseball Bluebook.
All right, one more time. I want to get started. What's the first thing I do?
Simple. You can go to your Apple App Store or Google Play, do a search for Baseball Bluebook, hit install or download, and then it will walk you through building your own profile. Again, there's 2 types of profiles. You're either a player that is actually playing, or you're a non-player. And then you can select if you're a coach or a parent or a trainer or whatever. You can even be other. So all that does is put you in different directories so that you can be found. So that's as simple as it is. Once you download it, it will take you directly to the main feed. You can just search the main feed and look at all the highlights, or you can go into the menu and search all the directories that we have.
And something I didn't really check out, I need to know personally, if I'm having trouble with something, who do I reach?
Yeah, that's a good question. We are all over on social media. There is a support button in our menu, so you can go to support, and it will email a support ticket to us. So we'll fix whatever we need to fix. We're doing everything that we can to make sure that you got a great app, and we continue to add features to it and make it a great experience. That we're excited. What we're most excited is, people say, when do you want them to get started? I said, when I took my boy to the store to buy his first glove, we downloaded the app and built his first profile. So that's when you should do it. You got to get your kid in it. We are all about promoting the game of baseball, right? We want to bring fun to the game. We are absolute ambassadors for the game of baseball. We love it. It's what we live and breathe. And we want to get them young, and we want to get them excited and find things that will keep them engaged. And that's why we have the podcast directory. We even have news feeds. So you can follow your favorite baseball team and get direct articles into your feed based on ones that you follow. So there's a lot of really cool things that you can do in our app.
Yeah, and that's what I love about you guys. You have a passion for the game, and that's the reason I'm honored to be an ambassador. And I want to remind everybody, listen, folks, I mean, think about all the things, college coaches, high school vendors, training facilities, equipment. I mean, this is all free information, contacts that you can make. Obviously, promoting your players, promoting your club, your federation. There's so much involved in here. I think it's outstanding. I think every federation, every club should be part of this. Don't forget, go to either Google or Apple Play. You can get it there. Baseball Bluebook. Eric, what's kind of cool about all this for me, it's kind of full circle. 1999, I joined the Schaumburg Flyers professional baseball team as director of baseball operations and one of the coaches. My job was to put the team together. And now I remember, I don't know why I didn't put this all together. Geez, Baseball Bluebook. I remember the books I was using to go through all the information. Right now, all of a sudden, here it is. It's in my phone. I can carry it with me everywhere I go. I mean, how things have come around and technology is amazing.
It is. And just one last thing, Pete.
Mm-hmm.
If you are an organization, a training facility, or a vendor, we encourage you to, one, build a profile as yourself, and then go to the menu and create a profile for your business. And we will then get that notification and we will approve it. So if you're not in the book, it's easy to get in the book, right? Build the profile as yourself. And then let's say you own ABC training facility, John Smith, build your own profile, and then go to that menu and hit create training facility. And then we will make sure that you are in the book, that training facility is in there with all the right information.
Yeah. And I, obviously I wasn't done because I think we're going to end it. We're going to end it with anything else I might have missed when it comes to a question that's real important that people need to know about. But I do want to mention, I love this part too. You've got all these podcasts, I know Baseball Outside the Box is going to be one of them, but now there's an instructional one, but there's a lot of information, other things too. But also you have, 100 of them, I think you mentioned, is what kind of, give us an idea broadly, what kind of podcasts on, because that's free information education.
No, it's I'm glad you're bringing it up, Pete, because I thought that was a really cool feature that we had. Because one of the things that, it's tough to find good information. You could go to Apple, you can go to Spotify, you can do a search for baseball, and then try to find a podcast that you might like. What we've done is we've done that for you. We went out and found all the podcasts that we can that focus on baseball. I don't care what level. It could be a podcast on youth leagues. It could be a training podcast. It could be, there's a lot of podcasts that are just covering Major League Baseball. So you go to the podcast directory in our app, and you can search all these podcasts. And all you need to do, here's what's really cool about it. You click on it, and if you follow the podcast in our app, every time they release a new episode, you're going to get a notification, and it will hit your feed. And then you can listen to the podcast right there in your Baseball Bluebook app. And we do the same thing, Pete, for all the news feeds. And so I'm a big Pittsburgh Pirate fan, and Sports SB Nation has a great newsletter and article that comes out almost every day. And so I follow the Pittsburgh Pirates Sports Nation news feed. And so every time they release a new article, I don't have to go find it on X or Facebook or subscribe and find it in my email. I just get a notification on my phone, and I go right to it, and boom, the article is right in my Baseball Bluebook app. And so we're trying to bring engagement, right? Follow your favorite team, follow your favorite podcast, find new, great equipment, maybe find a training facility. Oh, we even have an events calendar. So what we do is we go find all the showcases and tournaments out there, and we upload them to the app, and you can search our event directory. And then you can go and register and do what you need to from an events perspective. So we've got everything when it comes to baseball.
The events is important too, because I know there's a lot of players that don't actually they're trying to showcase themselves. Videos are great. They get all that on, but hopefully they can go through the events calendar and maybe attend one. Don't attend 10 of them. It's going to cost you a ton, but attend one that's specifically good for you. Hey, listen, I'm sorry that, you're a Pittsburgh fan. Hopefully they'll get new ownership. I mean, I love Pittsburgh, and Clint Hurdle, when he was there, man, he did a great job. And Clint's been on the show, and he's a great guy. But all kidding aside, baseball wise, okay, I got to tell you this. You're not going to expect this one. Folks, I want you to go to and Google Joe Madden podcast, okay? I want you to go listen to it. And then I want you to listen to this interview. And if you're not hearing Eric, he could be a double for Joe Madden. Not only voice-wise, looks-wise. I'm telling you, Eric, if something goes wrong and you can be an impersonator for Joe Madden, somewhere, because it just can't. Last week we talked. I'm thinking, man, it sounds a little bit like Joe Madden, his voice, and even his looks. And then all of a sudden now it definitely qualifies as that 100%.
Well, we both good-looking guys with good voices, I guess, right? That's right. So I appreciate that. Good compliment on that one. Going both ways.
All right, listen. Anything else we missed? You want everybody to know about the app? I think we hit pretty good.
I think a couple of things. If you are a major organization that has more than 100 players, we can bulk upload players for you. So do not be make sure that you reach out. I'm at eric@baseballbluebook.com. You can DM me in the app. So we've got full direct message capabilities in the app. So you can do all the communication there, or you can reach out to me directly. We are working with a lot of different people that have 100+ players. And the really cool thing about that is it's a value add to a lot of these organizations. You can provide a Baseball Blue Book profile to all of your players. And the cool part about that is we can automatically add a profile for them, add them directly to your group with zero effort on your side. So you don't have to go and email them and make sure they download the app. We can create it all for you on the back end and make that a real easy process for you. So again, if you have over 100 players, you're interested in getting your teams or your organizations part of the Baseball Blue Book, I encourage you to reach out to me directly, eric@baseballbluebook.com. You can find me on all the social media platforms as well. And I'm looking forward to talking to some new people and helping you guys get this value to your organization.
All right, fantastic, Eric. Listen, really thank you, and I look forward to working with you as an ambassador of the Baseball Blue Book. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I think it's going to help a lot of players, coaches, parents, a lot of people out there, not just in the U.S. but all over the world, because this is a global game.
Absolutely, Pete. Thank you. I appreciate it. Always a privilege to talk with you, and thank you very much for everything that you're doing.
All right, folks, we're going to close it off, and listen. So one of our goals is obviously to contact. There's over 100 countries that listen to the show, whether it be coaches, federations, academies, all over the world. But we're going to send the show directly to you, whether it's WhatsApp or in some other capacity. We want you to listen to the show, understand exactly how this works, and then you'll know also how to contact Eric. So again, Eric, thanks again. Don't forget, folks, Baseball Outside the Box on social media and all over your podcast networks. Check it out. If you got any questions, please let us know. You can also DM me. And don't forget, stay safe, be healthy, God bless you, and we'll see you on the next show.